Yo, 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 everybody, welcome back, You already know who it is. It's your boy, Made Man Mello. Coming to you back live with some more Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments, the Abbey Grange affair. We'll be starting shortly, about another 2 to 3 minutes. Get your snacks, get your drinks, get comfy, and let's do this. Hopefully everybody is having a wonderful, wonderful Sunday, Memorial Weekend, staying safe, being sanitary. You know the drill. In that fact, I need to warm up my food. I'm sitting here telling y'all, get y'all snacks and stuff ready. And I got these ribs, the macaroni and cheese, and baked beans just sitting here looking at me. Like I ain't about to warm it up. You got doggone right I'm finna warm it up. You gonna catch me slipping. Yup. Get the baked beans, get the top off. Oh Lord, oh Lord. Ooh, these baked beans, dog. You don't like baked beans, you're missing out. Mac and cheese, delicacy. And what your mama say, it is a delicacy to have mac and cheese, barbecue ribs, and baked beans. Might need to put on 3 minutes, but let's get this thing started. Alright. Let's see, got another minute. Let's do it. Alright, let's get it. It is time. Yo, yo, let me get up. Let me scoot up. Food's still not done yet, but we can get on started. I can smell it from all the way over here, and it smells good.
Going a foot, not a word. Into your clothes and come. I'll wait for you in the sitting room. I've just received a note from Inspector Lestrade. A letter from the suburbs. He is in need of my presence. Whenever he has asked for my assistance, it has always turned out to be entirely justified. I fancy that every one of his cases has found its way into your collection.
Oh, yes, they all seem worthy of...
However, I regret your fatal habit of looking at everything from the point of view of a story instead of a scientific exercise.
Oh, Holmes, you...
I beg your pardon, I digress. It would be much better to examine this letter than to try to convince you.
Whoa. The fact that I just got on. Well, let me introduce myself. Hey everybody, thank you Miss Fun Size for that host, the auto host. I humbly appreciate you guys. My name is Maidman Mello, playing some Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishments. Yeah.
The letter is on the table.
Holy smokes. Oh, okay. Okay, what I need to do. How? Okay. No. Did that.
A map of London and the surrounding area.
The letter...
My other cases, silver knife, train whistle, and a harpoon.
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
(221B) Baker Street, London. Sherlock Holmes.
A wax seal with the monogram E.B. The Brackenstall family coat of arms. I can tell from Lestrade's handwriting that he was in a hurry when he wrote this letter.
My dear Mr. Holmes, I should be very glad of your immediate assistance in what promises to be a most remarkable case. There's something quite in your line. Except for releasing the letter, I will see that everything is kept exactly as I found it, but I beg you not to lose an instant, as it is difficult to leave Sir Eustace there. Yours faithfully, Inspector Lestrade.
So, what is it, Holmes?
Promising, as always, it appears to be a case of murder.
So you believe that Sir Eustace is dead?
I should say so. Lestrade wouldn't have sent for me for less. His writing shows considerable agitation, and he is not an emotional man. These people belong to high society. The quality of the writing paper, the E.B. monogram, their coat of arms. The crime was committed before midnight.
Holmes, how can you possibly tell?
Well, it is all thanks to Lestrade. He wrote his letter at 3:30 in the morning. Imagine the chain of events before that. The local police had to be called in. Scotland Yard was notified. Lestrade himself had to make haste there, and finally compose the letter he sent to me. All of that makes for a fair night's work.
It makes sense. Lestrade also speaks of the woman he released.
That seems to indicate that she had been held somewhere during the crime. Much time has been wasted. Let us find a cab and go to Abbey Grange immediately. I live in hope of an interesting morning.
Investigate the murder at the Abbey Grange. Let's get it. Hopefully everybody is having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Memorial weekend. Not having too much fun, but having some good sun out there. I stepped out for a bit, not too long. Just to walk around and ride my scooter.
Alright, so
Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, here you are. I'm very glad that you have come, but perhaps I should not have troubled you after all.
And why is that?
Lady Brackenstall has come to her senses. She has given so clear an account of the affair that there is not much left for us to do. You remember that Lewisham gang of burglars?
What, the three Randalls?
Exactly. The father and two sons. It's their work. They stole a silver service, which is of great value.
Sir Eustace Brackenstall is dead, then?
Yes. His head was knocked in with his own poker.
A violent act of aggression.
Yes, the poor lady. She has had a most dreadful experience. She was assaulted and tied to a chair. But I think that you would best see her and hear her account of the facts. She's in the morning room with her maid, Teresa Wright.
Where is the body of the deceased?
In the dining room. We haven't touched anything.
All right, I'm going to examine it.
Very good, Watson.
No, I knew it was gonna happen. Always does.
Lord Ramsay Brackenstall.
He looks mean. There had to be one mean family. They all got the same. I always noticed they got the same
Lord
bags
Ribble
under the eyes.
Brackenstall.
Like they did not sleep at all.
Sir Warthen Brackenstall.
Like they were stressed.
Lord George Brackenstall. Baron Lyndon Brackenstall.
Baron.
The Brackenstall family seems rather austere.
Hello. No smile, no nothing. They just mean.
Lady Brackenstall awaits you in the morning room.
The fact that they have a morning room. Oh, you got money.
Ladies, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting Inspector Lestrade in this investigation.
Mr. Holmes, I am the wife of Sir Eustace Brackenstall. We were married only a year ago.
I am sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
I suppose that it is no use my attempting to conceal that our marriage has not been a happy one. I fear that all would tell you that, even if I were to attempt to deny it.
You got hit. Fabric, the detail.
Can you describe to me the events of yesterday evening?
Is it really necessary? I have already told Inspector Lestrade all that happened.
Yes, madam, it is.
I will tell you then. Sir Eustace retired about 10:30. I sat in this room until after 11, absorbed in a book. Before I went upstairs, I entered the dining room to fetch a candle and... oh God.
Please, go on.
As I approached the French window, I found myself face to face with an elderly, broad-shouldered man who had just stepped into the room. Close behind the first man, I saw two others. One of them struck me a savage blow with his fist and felled me unconscious to the ground.
And then?
When I came to myself, I found that they had secured me tightly to a dining room chair. It was at that instant my unfortunate husband entered the room.
He fought with the intruders?
Yes, I think he had heard them, for he was holding his stick. But they were three, and he eventually succumbed. One of them, the elder one, struck him a terrible blow with the poker. I fainted once more. When I opened my eyes, they had withdrawn. Then my brave Teresa came to my assistance.
Did these three villains steal anything?
Yes, I found that they had taken the silver from the sideboard, but you can see for yourself in the dining room.
You mentioned that your marriage was not a happy one. Was there anything specific that was troubling you?
He was not a nice man.
He used to
when
beat
was
on you.
drunk, and he suffered from dark moods, but nothing else.
Tell that.
The bruises on your hands are
He used
at
to
least
beat
1
you.
week old. Your husband caused those bruises?
Oh, do you? Yes.
Tell the truth.
He was very angry at the time. Out of control. Again.
At that time, you mean all the
Sir
time.
Eustace was a drunkard. To be tied to such a man for life is worse than death.
Your ladyship?
She is very pale. Jesus Christ.
Teresa, I would like to hear your testimony.
Certainly, sir.
Coffee.
As I sat by my bedroom window, I saw three men in the moonlight down by the lodge gate. But I thought nothing of it at the time. If I'd known...
And then?
I went to bed, and it was more than an hour after that I heard my mistress scream. And down I ran, to find her tied to the chair and him on the floor with his head smashed. That's all I know.
Well, I'll allow it. I don't know, you could have told me more. Could have told me more. You had something. The maid did it. The butler did it. Family business booming. Around the gang's back. William, Melvin, Jack.
The description of the Randall gang provided by Lady Brackenstall is identical to the one in the Times article.
Still does not mean that they did it, though.
These scratches are most definitely made by the picture frame. This photograph of Lady Brackenstall and her maid Teresa was taken at a port, but which one? So the lady and her maid came from Australia a year and a half ago
Rock
on
of
this ship.
Gibraltar.
This is Sir Eustace's safe. There may be something important inside. I must ask Lady Brackenstall to open it. Lady Brackenstall, could you open this wall safe?
No, it is my husband's safe. I do not know the combination.
We have to open it. Your ladyship.
You gotta find out. Look for some more clues.
You should examine the body of Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
So, Watson, what have you learned from examining Sir Eustace's body?
Well, I can confirm that the death was instant. Sir Eustace was facing his attacker when he received the blow to his head. No other apparent injuries.
The hunting scene. A trapper's hut. A trapper's hut. A hunter's cabin. A fur trader's cabin. A hunter's scene. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. A decanter standing next to the open bottle, an inseparable pair indeed. There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been decanted before being poured.
That's rich. Actual bees' wings.
This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. It is rather strange that only one of these glasses has dregs of beeswing inside it, while the other two are clear.
Hint, hint, the Randalls. Papa had the one with the beeswings, while the two youngest ones had this. Maybe. Still speculation.
Chateau Calon-Ségur, French wine, Grand Cru. Sailor's knots. That's interesting. This rope was handled by the murderers. We need a scent hound to follow their trail. I will take it with me. This is the chair that Lady Brackenstall was tied to. antique hunting weapons. These wine bottles are expensive and mostly from France. This candlestick is valuable. It is interesting that it was not also stolen.
It wasn't looking for candles.
This candlestick is valuable. It is interesting that it was not also stolen. A bottle of wine is missing here. An empty silverware box. It appears that the intruders have stolen the contents. The criminals did not thoroughly ransack the house. They only took a little silverware. The hunting scene. A deer hunt. The Brackenstall family. A fur trader's cabin.
Alright, let's go, Mr. Brackenstall. Let's examine your body.
It appears that the bell rope was cut by someone taller than me.
They used the bell rope, so the rope I have is the actual bell rope. Yeet!
A fur trader's cabin.
I'm trying to examine the body. Thank you.
Quite a large stick. A formidable weapon. Barefoot,
Stay ready, never gotta
he
get
had
ready.
therefore been in bed and did not have time to fully dress. That must be the murder weapon. It is covered in blood. Sir Eustace might have struck his head upon it while falling from the blow. That is one possible explanation.
Yeesh!
The head was cracked with the force of the blow.
Alrighty, let's go. Knotted rope was the... see. So the Randalls, which that is still speculation. The robbery was faked and the whole story of in order blames Sir Eustace' death on the Randalls. But the testimonies and evidence match and point to the Randall gang. So right now that is still up for speculation. This also too is speculation on how he hit it. So death of Sir Eustace could have been due to his accidentally striking his head on a fireplace grate, or it could have been due to a poker blow. Still speculation. Another one. So much speculation. 3 people or 2 people? 2 people were drinking wine out of glasses. Random glass with the beast wings is solely of the dregs from the other 2 glasses. Or there were 3 people drinking wine out of these glasses. One of the 3 probably prefers wine with beast wings. Let me go back again. So I got 3 pretty much speculation. So we are still at the bottom of the barrel.
The death was instant.
Please leave my Mary.
Oh, hush. It's a murder scene. I gotta talk to her. Hello, Lashing. How you doing?
There are 3 glasses on the dining room table. I was wondering if...
Oh, I forgot. When I came to myself the first time, each of them had a glass in his hand. They might have been a father and his 2 sons. They talked together in whispers, and then they left.
Your ladyship?
Or it could have been you, the maid, and Brackenstall having a drink. Just saying.
This door leads to the upstairs bedrooms. Apparently the criminals did not venture there.
Alright, let's go outside to the French Quarter. Hold on. Let's get him stops resting. Collect Toby from Baker Street. Alright, let's go to Baker Street first if I can't go anywhere else. Let me double check. Yeah. Let me get Toby. Let me get my dog, Toby.
Come on, Toby. We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case.
Someone should take Toby for a walk.
Search, Toby. The intruders entered the shed for some reason when they were making off with the silverware. The scent leads to the well. I shall check it. The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall. The criminals left the house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well, before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding route. Small gardening tools, nothing of great interest. This old suitcase sounds hollow. It must be empty. Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved. This hook might be useful. There's something glittering at the bottom there, but how can I
The
reach
hook.
it? Silverware. This is hardly a coincidence. The Brackenstall coat of arms. It appears that we have found the stolen silverware.
Think that is it for outside? Some more questions, lady. Let's get it.
We found your silverware, Lady Brackenstall. It had not been taken very far.
Is that true? I am very thankful to you, Mr. Holmes.
Your ladyship?
Let me check the maid one time. I knew it. Let's go.
We found your mistress's silverware.
Oh, that's good news. You really are as clever as they say.
Indeed.
Elementary.
Inspector, I have recovered the stolen silverware.
You are a wizard, Mr. Holmes. And where is it?
In the garden well.
Excuse me?
Unique, isn't it?
Rather absurd. What is the point of stealing silverware and then throwing it down into a well?
Perhaps it was used as a temporary hiding place, or simply the thieves wanted to get rid of it. It is up to us to solve this mystery.
Alright, check evidence, make sure I did it all. Yep, okay, now it's time to go back to Baker Street to do some experiment. My guy Toby.
Well, Holmes, do you have a lead?
Dr. Watson, it's Mr. Isa Whitney. He says it's urgent.
Isn't that the fellow we found in the opium den while I was undercover there? Or am I mistaken?
Yes, the gentleman whom I wrote about in The Man with a Twisted Lip. But I must go. This addiction of his causes irreversible damage.
In that case, I shall continue the investigation alone.
I hope that you'll tell me everything when I return.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me.
Let us see how the rope was cut. The fibers at the end of the rope are smoothly cut. Let us try to find out what tool was used to cut the rope. The fibers from this cut appear to be different. If I cut the rope with a knife, it matches the original.
Alright, there's one definite. The rope was cut once with a short knife and tied quickly into sailor's knots. That could be indicated and true to have a sailor's background. Blues Clues, Blues Clues. Alright, I need to get into that safe and get up to them rooms.
Holmes, don't look at me like that. I don't know what to think.
Oh, what a horrible thing.
Please leave my Mary alone. She suffered so much, she deserves some rest.
Let us try to open this safe. This safe can be cracked. I only have to pay attention. The dial will vibrate when it is set to the correct number.
My man. Money. Give me that money.
It is common practice to keep one's valuables in a safe behind a painting. It should not really pose a challenge for a criminal. Antique coins, possibly of value, but they're scattered without care.
So use that your current physical and mental state is of great concern. There are several signs of hepatic decomposition. The last time that we met, your eyes were bloodshot. Henceforth, it might be hereditary because all of his dads or uncles had it. Your skin was tinged with yellow. There's a particular odor from your breath that is common in those suffering from liver damage. Then there are the lung abscesses that we have discussed. The leg cramps you have described to me are caused by an alteration to the nervous system, which in turn is caused by an excess of alcohol poisoning. That includes tremors. Your liver seems excessively hard at the time of your examination. Your liver is shot, which is a sign of evolving cirrhosis. There are also signs of ascites, fluid in the peritoneal cavity, which are evidenced with your swollen stomach. The pain beneath your left rib indicates a pancreatic malady, which may lead to fatal and fulminant pancreatitis. Your condition may pose a risk to others. Your excessive alcohol consumption lowers your self-control and heightens your aggression. I am available to help you with this problem. There are a number of treatment options. Nothing but money. Can I have some? I just want some. Like a gold coin. That's all. Just for my service.
Oh, what a horrible thing to have.
Sir Eustace's doctor speaks of his violent behavior.
Yes, Sir Eustace was an extremely violent man. A detestable human being, to be more precise. It is true that he once threw a decanter at me, and all because I dared to stand up to him in defence of my mistress. Sly devil. God forgive me that I should speak of him so now that he's dead. But a devil he was, if ever one walked the earth. We met him only 18 months ago. She'd only just arrived in London. Yes, it was her first voyage. She'd never been from home before. And one with his title and his money and his false London ways. If she made a mistake, she has paid for it, if ever a woman did. She doesn't have any friends here, so it was specially hard for her.
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
That's speculation. Lady is acquainted with someone from the Rock of Gibraltar. Lady Brackenstar married Sir Eustace shortly after arriving in England and remained at home during that time. There's a little possibility that he or she and the maid are acquainted with anyone in the country. Should we trust the maid or should we not? Nah.
What do you know about Sir Eustace, Inspector? What was his reputation?
A charming man when sober, but an absolute demon when he was drunk. Such moments he was apparently capable of anything. Why, once he splashed fuel on Lady Brackenstalk's dog and set it alight. Another day he threw a decanter of wine at Miss Wright's head.
The alcohol seemed to madden him.
To the point that we were forced to intervene several times to avoid a scandal.
Mr. Random, Mr. Brackenstar, Mr. Brackenstar. That's definite. So Eustace was violent towards his wife. He used to beat him. Alright, so for now I will trust the maid, in which she said they didn't have any friends and stuff like that, so go here. So far the lady has been okay, and she said 3. The Randalls seems like it. They're a gang, pirates, knots, you name it. But why did they not ditch the silverware? That's still speculation. Death of Sir Eustace could have been due to a poker blow. True, and blood can splatter, but he could have been. They said he cracked his head with the poker. Also, you can technically still be alive, unconscious, get cracked in the head, and fall onto the fireplace, in which inevitably kill you. Yeah. Some more speculation. Robbery is the motive. Robbery is confirmed as the motive for the crime. The criminals may have plans to return for the silverware that they dumped. But why would they dump it in the first place? I do not understand that. Robbery could have been imitated to explain she used to stuff silverware. What's not supposed to? That seems like the more logical one. And then we can say it was 2 people, because if you think the maid and the wife, ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha. So henceforth, the Randalls are blamed. Ha 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 ha. Connection. And I would think this was not an accident. I would say it's an accident. I would say they whacked him on the head with the poker just to get him his drunk ass off of her. So it could have been a deadly accident. Domestic accident. Could have been very much a deadly accident, but who's jumping over that damn wall? But the thing is, when the profile of the maid was that she's a hard worker and it pointed to her hands, so she did all the dirty work. So she could have been the one to put it in the well, did all that, and hop the wall. And the gate's right there, so she could have been let in. Because she cut the rope, she did all that. Could the maid have learned how to tie a knot into a sailor's knot? Because they did come on a voyage, so you know, hey, you learn a couple things. This is going to be on that decision of murder is wrong. Point blank, period. No matter who it is, no matter what happened, killing somebody is something that you definitely should not do if you were able to control it. Mistakes happen, yes, but if you murdered somebody and tried to cover it, the thing was you covered it up. You could have said it was an accident to begin with, but then you got the history with the Brackenstalls, which is more than likely hereditary based on those photos and the doctor's diagnosis that you need to stop drinking or you're hitting on your wife. So not too many wives are going to stand put, or maids in that matter, is going to watch somebody get beaten to death. So yeah, I can see that happening, and that's in that instance of justifiable, because like you have to live with this abuser, and you really can't do nothing about it because he got money, he got power, he got people under his thumb. So you really, and you don't have friends. That's the number one clue. You don't have friends nowhere, so you can't call nobody. You can't even do anything to help you out. So you're alone with a maid, pretty much. So I'm absolving her. I'm definitely absolving. I don't care if it's wrong, right, I'm absolving.
Ladies, I know the full story. You are both guilty, are you not?
Mr. Holmes, I can explain everything.
No, madam, he's bluffing.
It is no use. Your husband was a violent man, a cruel man. Your argument last night ended tragically, with him stumbling and falling, fatally striking his head upon the fireplace grate. However, your mise en scène to divert suspicion was unnecessary. You should have admitted the truth.
Facts.
The truth is often subjective, Mr. Holmes.
Not to me.
What will you tell Inspector Lestrade?
He will find nothing, as he handed the case over to me. Farewell, please.
Say your skins.
Inspector, I'm afraid that the murderers have escaped us.
What? Do you mean to tell me that you've failed? Never thought I'd live to see the day.
I mentioned the murderers, not the case. It is obvious that the crime was committed by 3 criminals who cannot be the Randalls.
You really think so?
You only need to find a gang of 3 thugs wandering around. I can trust you to do that.
If they exist, I'll catch them.
You'll find someone, I have no doubt of it. Goodbye, Inspector.
I absolved her. I don't care if I'm wrong. See, I don't care. I missed 2 clues though. I did miss 2 clues though. I want to see what the other ending is. See what the other ending is. I missed 2 clues though. What was the other 2 clues? Let me search. If they let me search. If not, we'll continue. There's a clue somewhere. Because the thing is also the missing wine bottle. They're saying, how am I missing 2 clues? Is it a picture I didn't do? Something. It might have been one of them paintings. See how this works.
Well, Inspector, this case proved to be a simple one after all.
You think it's the Randall gang, then?
Yes.
I'll put my men on it straight away.
I'll leave that to you, Inspector. After all, you have handled this matter quite brilliantly.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Holmes. I do appreciate it.
I miss it then. We saw both of those. Alrighty, those are the deductions, but the correct one was probably, it was more likely taking the Randalls, not the Randalls, but the ladies down. But it is your decision to make, my moral choice. Sorry, I hate abuse, so yeah. I feel like he got too drunk and he got whacked in the head, and unfortunately he died. Okay? You already know who it is. It's your boy Made Man Mellow. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Miss Fun Size, for the host. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a wonderful Memorial weekend. Peace.